YouTubers. Well, we haven't seen a video for very long, and that's mainly because I've been busy with school and other shit, and every time I go to make a video, go to make it, never make it, whatever, blah blah blah. Also, this camera, as you can see, you can't see very much through it, so I've had to set up that spotlight there to show you what I'm about to do. But what I am about to do is replace the wheel bearings in this car, because the left side started clunking, but I pulled in on the right side, so we'll do the right side first. Now, this kit comes with a seal and the two bearings with cups, I would imagine. They all come with cups. I think they're just cheap Chinese bearings, FJB, who knows. Oh no, Japan. Japanese bearings, there you go. Got some decent quality Japanese bearings. Which should be what's in there. But I got them for, guess what? $12 a side. 28 or, well, it was 28 bucks a lot with tax, so $12 before tax. But what happens is, I rang up. Originally they want 40 bucks from retail to me, but my friend's mother works at the joint, which I'll choose not. I don't know whether I'd want to be advertised, so I won't advertise them at this point, but yeah, so she works there, so she gets them at their price. So there you go. We've even got seals, so hang on, we'll just take one out and we'll see what sort of quality these are. They look to be fairly decent brand by the look of it, if they're Japanese, real Japanese. It says manufactured under license by blah 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 Japan. So alright. And to me that looks like a pretty good unit actually. It's nicely pre-lubed. Oh yeah, that's much tighter than the cheap bearings I put in my friend's Falcon. They were just the cheapest, which come from the same place actually, same price, but these feel a lot tighter, a lot better made actually. Well, they're not very tight that way, but as far as the centre, where the cage sits up against the race there, or whatever you want to call it. So anyway, I suppose what we'll do first is whip this wheel off, which I just noticed has a loose wheel nut. Now, that's definitely not good. Don't know why that is. It might have had a bit of dirt or something behind it when I did it up or something, who knows, but that scared me when I went down to do that. It was just loose. So anyway, we'll stick it up on stands, and start taking the shit off. I better put gloves on. Alright, so taking the caliper off by releasing the handbrake cable and undoing the two bolts there, and taking the bearing cap off, which is probably the most complex part of the whole procedure. Takes a bit of fiddling to get these ones off, they're pricks. But now what I'll do is that circlip. I'll see if I can do this on camera. So I'll undo the circlip. Split pin, not circlip. Right, I'll undo it off camera. We'll take the nut, the piece that slips over the nut to locate the split pin in there, and undo the nut, and we can slide the disc off. So all those wheel nuts, when I looked at them, all of them were none of them were that loose, but all of them were pretty damn loose, so that scares me. If I hadn't have done this, could have been in a bit of trouble. So anyway, I'll keep going. Alright, here's the messy part. Here's one bearing, which looks pretty damn old. It's Australian, made in Australia, so I'd say that is original. There we go. And that's that. Okay, so as is very irregular with me, the other race shell cup, whatever the hell you want to call it, comes straight out. You put that light where you can see, but that's probably a bit better. I hate this camera, I need to get a decent camera. My other camera takes normal batteries and it runs them out in a couple of minutes, and has crap audio, as you would have heard by the last video, but anyway. So I can't see. Hoping that's where here's the little right, that's one. See, these might not be so easy as the last one. It seems to be moving. It is moving. Is that it? Hey! There you go. There's the mouldy old one. Don't know how bad they are. I won't pick up the camera at this present point in time, but we'll clean all that gunk up and the slurry that's now formed on the floor, as you can see. We'll see how we're going. So I'll have to clean all this shit off. Yay. So I'll come back to you. Okay, so now we'll show putting these casings in properly this time. Not on the floor. First of all, we'll get a bit of grease here and just lightly grease our surface here so that it actually goes in, and will come out in the future. There we go. Just got a thin layer, and make sure you put it with the tapered end, so the bigger diameter is facing outwards. So obviously then if you do it the other way, you won't get your bearing, which I'm sure someone's done before, but still. Now, to start off, just to get her in there, we want to get it in straight, so we'll start by just tapping until it's in straight, and you can keep going. Now what I'll do, so I've got my old casing here. Now to make it so I can get it out easily, I forgot to mention this before, I'll just take it to the linish, just linish a bit off the edges so that when I stick it in here with this, it isn't a press fit, because if you just hammer this new one or the old one straight on top of the new one, it'll get stuck obviously. So I'll go and do that. I'll go and grind this, because I can't find what I did with the original one I used. It's under the car somewhere, so I might as well just go and grind this. It'll take 2 seconds. Okay, I could probably do it taking a little bit more off. Oh, that's alright. So now we'll use this one. We'll just tap this one flat first. Now obviously when you heat beading on here, there is the risk you'll burr it over, but these ones have a nice bevel in them, so you won't do that on these particular ones, but think about that before you hit it. Normally I put a bit of hardwood in between, but just so you can see a bit better, I'll exclude that for this shot, because I mean really it makes no difference. Now this is the hard part, getting this shell to just start to sort of find the lip in there. Just beginning to. And we've got another 1/4 of an inch or so. That's almost bottomed out now. Of course, that's still a bit tight in there, so I'll have to get a pair of multi-groups to pull it out, to ground a bit more off, but still. Make sure it's bottomed out. You don't want it with a bit of slop in there. Sorry about my head, but that looks pretty. That's good. Now, I'll probably do this off camera, but yeah, I'll have to get the screwdriver in there to pry that one out. That's alright, I'm sure you can handle that. Okay, so the part I'm about to do is probably the messiest and also the most crucial. And the right that it's done properly. Don't drop your bearing. You get a palm full of grease, and we need to run that into the new bearing. So now get it in there. You need to turn the bearing in the grease like so. until you see a proper coating all the way on the inside of those rollers. You see how there's a big gap in there. You want to fill all of that. I mean, that's the most crucial part of the job, apart from knocking the seal right and lubricating the seal lips. If you don't lubricate the seal, you'll be back there in a couple of weeks. If water gets in there, rusts them up. Maybe in a couple of weeks, but not long anyway. So that's that one done. So you just want to rub it in your hand. Make sure the inner part isn't spinning. You want just the outer race to spin, and just make a nice mess. If you're really messy, then you've done it properly. So do that to the other one. Stick a whole heap of grease in the centre between the two shells. If I can get this, I can't see Jeff. In the shell in between. Do that one. This is the type that you need to have the bearing in before you knock the shell. The bearing before you knock the seal in. And seal, I'll use the same method that I use for the shells, except I'll do it with an old seal. I'll lube everything up nicely as I did, and knock it until it's about flush, maybe just a bit under. Okay, so we've got a beautiful new seal installed there. Did it the same method as the bearing shells. By that I mean use the shells to knock the seal in, and did it nice and nice and sheepishly. Now I've packed that all with grease, did the bearings properly. I'll show you how to do that on the other side, and cleaned up all the spindle and everything. Didn't really clean up the back plate too much, just wiped all the crap off. But I mean, really, and those bolts there, they're the 4 bolts basically hold the wheel on the car, so make sure they're tight. Might be a good idea. Or hold the whole hub on. I suppose the caliper assembly holds it on somewhat, but that's not going to do a lot in the event that those nuts work their way out, because really, in theory, they could all work their way all the way out. Doubt it happened, but it could. So anyway, now clean this disc up, clean all the crap off, so that I'm not putting dirty disc on, because then the brakes won't work too well. But as you can see, those pads are rooted anyway, but I just don't have the money at the moment. So we'll clean that up. Alright, we're all cleaned up and ready to go back on. So you can see that, don't know if you can. Now I've packed this full of grease. Make sure you hold your bearing from under here, because that'll want to fall out as well. And slide her on. Now I've packed this bastard full of grease, so it'll take a bit to get her on there. Alright. Now what I really should do is have a look behind and see how much grease got pushed out into that seal, if any got pushed out of the seal. Which, no, none did. I just thought because I packed it so full, I would have expected it to shoot out this end, but that's alright. Now, lubricate the lips of the seal. If you don't, you'll be back here replacing the seal in no time. Now all we've got to do is take the washer, which is around. Okay, so that's been on my list for about the past week, I suppose. We're all finished now. Both sides, wheels are on. I'll take it for a drive around tomorrow, or maybe tonight, we'll see. It's quite late though, Mum's in bed, so I can't. And then tomorrow I'll take the bearing caps back off and adjust the bearings, just to be on the safe side, because I like to, make sure they're done nice and not too tight, not too loose either. But anyway, that's that done. So anyway, $28.40 exactly it cost, which you cannot beat, and took me about an hour, I suppose, half an hour aside. So yeah, thanks for watching.